Hey everybody, Edmund here. Today we're going to be covering Job 31. And in this chapter, Job is basically proclaiming his innocence to his friends. In verses 1 reads, I have made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I look upon a young woman? And verse 4 reads, Does he not see my ways and count all my steps? So Job here is basically telling his friends that he hasn't fallen into sin because of lust for another woman, and also that God knows all things. So it's like, why even bother looking at somebody in an unworthy manner, knowing that God knows and is going to be disappointed. And then verses 5 through 8 talks about him being an honest, upright man, and it reads, If I have walked with falsehood, or if my foot has hastened to deceit, let me be weighed on honest scales, that God may know my integrity. If my step has turned from the way, or my heart walked after my eyes, or if any spot adheres to my hands, then let me sow and another eat. Yes, let my harvest be rooted out. So he's claiming that he's an upright, honest man. Verses 9 through 12 cover adultery. Verse 9 reads, If my heart has been enticed by a woman, or if I have lurked at my neighbor's door. And verse 11, For that would be wickedness. Yes, it would be iniquity deserving of judgment. And verse 12, For that would be a fire that consumes to destruction and would root out all my increase. So Job is claiming to have a faithful marriage with his wife. He's never committed adultery, and he knows that adultery will destroy a person's life, and the opportunity for any growth will be stripped away. In verses 13 through 15, he talks about the way that he treats his servants. If I have despised the cause of my male or female servant when they complained against me, what then shall I do when God rises up? When he punishes, how shall I answer him? Did not he who made me in the womb make them? Did not the same one fashion us in the womb? So he's saying, hey, God created my servants just like he created me. I need to treat them well, just like God would treat them. I need to try to treat them the same way. And then verses 16 through 23 talks about Job not taking advantage of those that are lesser than him, and we're going to skip over that section. I want to get to verses 24 through 28, which talks about worshiping riches and idols. If I have made gold my hope, or said to find gold, you are my confidence. If I have rejoiced because my wealth was great, and because my hand has gained much, if I have observed the sun when it shines, or the moon moving in brightness, so that my heart has been secretly enticed, and my mouth has kissed my hand, this also would be iniquity deserving of judgment. For I would have denied God who is above. So here Job is not obsessed with riches, and he doesn't idolize other false gods. We can't worship money and riches or anything else, including ourselves. And it was customary in ancient worship to kiss the idol that was worshipped. So when they say about kissing the hand, that is about worship. And even today, modern day Muslims, when they go to Mecca, there's this thing called the black stone, which a lot of the Muslims will try to go and kiss. And if it's so crowded that they can't get close enough to kiss the black stone, they'll just touch it with their hand and then kiss their hand. And I guess that's supposed to be like, same thing. I don't know. Kind of weird. But anyways, let's move on. Verses 29 through 34. If I have rejoiced at the destruction of him who hated me, or lifted myself up when evil found him, indeed I have not allowed my mouth to sin by asking for a curse on his soul. If the men of my tent have not said, Who is there that has not been satisfied with his meat? But no sojourner had to lodge in the street. for I have opened my doors to the traveler. So here we see that he's treating those that hate him well. He's treating those that are under his tent. So this might be employees or other servants that he has, and even strangers. He's treating them well as well. That's funny. Anyways, the last section is verses 33 through 34. The last section I'm going to cover. If I have covered my transgression as Adam by hiding my iniquity in my bosom, because I feared the great multitude and dreaded the contempt of families, so that I kept silence and did not go out of the door. So here we see that Job, if he sinned against someone, he didn't just hide and try to avoid the conviction from the people. He went and faced the consequences head on. Now, you guys, in this chapter, there's a bunch of examples on how we should be living our life. We need to make sure that we're not looking at others with lust. We need to make sure that we're upright and honest. We need to make sure that we're faithful to our spouse and 100% committed to our marriages. We need to also be fair and just to those that work for us or work with us, and be honest to them as well. We need to help those that are needy. There's so many people that are not as fortunate as us, and we need to be there for them, to provide for them if possible. We need to make sure that we do not worship money or anything else. God is the only one that we must worship. And we need to treat those that hurt us with love, treat strangers with love, because in the Bible it says somewhere, you never know if that stranger is an angel. And I'm sure that applies today as well. And if we do make mistakes, you guys, we can't sit there and hide and pretend we haven't made mistakes. We are people. We are going to make mistakes. We need to repent our mistakes and deal with the consequences and ask God for forgiveness. Anyways, guys, I know I kind of flew through this pretty quick. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.